Biden administration negotiates deal to give WHO authority over U.S. pandemic policies. Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and blessings be multiplied on all you brethren out there teaching this word in all sincerity and truth. Shalom to the few Akwaf that subscribe to this word as well. It's the brother Dama Agabari from GMS Los Angeles with another lesson, Lord willing to edify and give you warning from Yahweh by Yahweh Shai. As you can see from the title of this article, man, hey, Sleepy Joe is doing the will of the elites, man. And he's basically given the pandemic policies or the authority over the pandemic policies into the hands of the World Health Organization over the United States, which totally, is unconstitutional, which is totally going to be a violation of your so-called constitutional rights, man. And this is what all the pawns of Satan and all of these cronies of the New World Order are being put in positions to do. Biden is nothing more than a puppet of these elites. They're using this old senile bastard to basically, set America up to be totally taken over by these elites, man, and to, be given over into the hands of the New World Order, to where your constitutional rights won't be worth a damn, where they can be, superseded by the authority of the World Health Organization, which we know is an organization which is, brought and paid for by these elites. And the people in positions of power at the WHO are all on board with the New World Order. They're all doing the bidding of the elites, and they're going to basically set it up to where, they're going to give, medical tyranny, the power of, to have a medical tyranny over the United States and everywhere else through the WHO, which is an organization that is crooked as a letter S, man. All right. And they're all looking ultimately to, so that in the near future, whenever there's, another so-called pandemic or another so-called medical emergency, your states and your governors and your mayors won't have any authority to issue their own mandates to say what should be done and what shouldn't be done. It's all going to be given into the authority of the WHO. And you already know what they're going to do. What they're going to announce: force this, force jabs, force lockdowns, force this, force that, to where you won't have any constitutional rights to stand on, or any, voice to have to speak out against whatever they say you need to do, because Biden monkey ass is giving all authority unto the WHO to do these things. All right. Which is nothing more than but wickedness. All right. It shows you that this is the man of sin. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is the devil that the Bible speaks of, a deceiver, a liar, an oppressor, and every other form of, wickedness that you can speak of, man. It's all being done by these elites, man. And all these different people that they're, these pawns that they're using to implement these things are nothing more than pawns of Satan, man. So this whole society is corrupt from the president all the way on down, man. And these elites are buying off all of these different politicians and mayors and setting up a system ultimately, this new digital beast system. They're setting it up ultimately to where, your governments ultimately will just be like a front. They'll be there, but, their orders will be given to them by these elites, man. Your mayors, your governors, your presidents are basically going to have to do the bidding of these elites. Otherwise, they won't get any funding. They won't get any funding. They won't get any money from the, they won't get any money to do particular things. So therefore, all power is in the hands of these elites, and these different, so-called governments and mayors and presidents are all just pawns, man. All going to be used. They're all going to sign off on whatever comes down on top to oppress and to destroy you people, man. All right. So it says the Biden administration is preparing to sign up the United States to a legally binding accord with the World Health Organization that will give this Geneva-based UN subsidiary the authority to dictate America's policies during the pandemic. And they're not, aren't these devils coming out and saying that there is going to be another pandemic? There will be another pandemic, says Klaus Schwab, says Bill Gates of hell. And what they're trying to do is, they're going to try to get this law passed before that great next pandemic happens. So what? So that who can have an authority? So you can't have an opinion. You can't fight. You can't say that I know my rights, so that the Constitution can be stripped and you can be basically powerless to come up against whatever the WHO mandates, man. And who knows what's in these bills? They could have in these bills that anybody who doesn't, play ball to these WHO mandates or laws can be jailed, can be put in front of a firing squad, can be hangs from the neck until they die. Now, I'm not saying that that's what's in, these laws that, or these different, authority that these devils might come down, but it just might be. I guess we'll have to wait and see. It says, despite worldwide criticism of the WHO's response to the C pandemic, U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Xavier Becerra joined with WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom in September 2022 to announce the U.S. WHO strategic dialogue. You see, and this whole Secretary Xavier and the Director Tedros, these are all brought and paid for cronies of these elites, man. These guys are specifically chosen to be in these positions because they're going to do whatever they're told to do, even at the expense of harming, and even at the expense of people dropping dead and being harmed by whatever authority the WHO has and whatever they mandate to, for the populace to follow. It says the U.S. WHO strategic dialogue. Together, they developed a platform to maximize the longstanding U.S. government/WHO partnership and to protect and promote the health of all people around the globe, including the American people, which that's a goddamn lie. All right. It says these discussions and others spawned a zero draft of a pandemic treaty published February 1st, which now seeks to ratification by all 194 WHO member states. A meeting of the WHO's intergovernmental negotiating body is scheduled for February 27th to work out the final terms on which all members then will sign. You see, and who the hell you think are writing these drafts? Who's putting these different laws into place and powers that this WHO will have when these things is passed and implemented? All right. It says, written under the banner of the world together equitably, them trying to make it sound real nice and comforting and positive, but these are a bunch of goddamn devils, man. Everybody that's on this board are all working for Satan. All right. They're not doing this for the best interest of you people. They're basically doing it to have total control, to have medical control. And eventually they'll have financial control. And eventually they'll have total control through this new world order via this digital beast system and your charagma, which will be inserted in your right hand, man. So all of these things are being, they're consolidating power on every level. The medical, the financial, and political. You see? It says once a health emergency is declared, all signatories, including the United States, would submit to the authority of the WHO regarding treatments, government regulations such as lockdowns and vaccine mandates, global supply chains, and monitoring and surveillance of populations. You see, they're just setting themselves up to have total control over each and every American citizen through this whole zero draft policy that Biden is going to sign America into the hands of the WHO, into Satan, into this demonic organization, man, through these different legislations and wicked ass laws that they're passing in order to make this thing happen, man. And when they do it, it's going to do away with all your constitutional rights, man. So it's all being done intentionally, man, so that the people can be powerless, so that they can have all authority, so that when they have these new, the next so-called pandemic, they're going to make it to where you taking the vaccine is not going to be optional, man. You're going to have to do it, or you're going to have to face particular consequences and punishments, man. This is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, you see? And them having that zero draft policy is part of those unrighteous decrees, laws that they have written and that they're cooking up to where they can allow WHO to have total authority over the pandemic, the next pandemic regulations and rules, man. All right. Totally against, it's going to be totally against the constitutional laws of America and everywhere else on the planet. It says to turn aside the needy from judgment. You see, because when that WHO shit is implemented and it's the next so-called pandemic, man, hey, all judgment is going to rest with the hands of the WHO. And you're not going to be able to, you're not going to be treated fairly. You're not going to be given the opportunity to, to not take these things, or to opt out, or to have a religious exemption, or to have what you believe and what should go in your body. That's not going to matter in that day. You're going to do it, or else there will be penalties. You could be, like I said, you could be locked up. You could be put in front of a firing squad. You could lose your job. You could be rounded up and thrown into a concentration camp, man. It says, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. You see, and what are they going to rob you of? Ultimately, is your rights to decide what you want to put into your body. You see, it says these discussions and others spawned in the zero. Did I read that already? Yeah, I read that. It says here goes centralized pandemic response. They want to see a centralized vaccine and medicated based response and a very restrictive response in terms of controlling populations. You see? David Bell, a public health physician and former WHO staffer specializing in epidemic policy, told the Epoch Times, they get, now here it is. This show you that it's all about control. And Biden is going to give WHO total control and autonomy over every single citizen here in America if they draft this policy during the next so-called pandemic, man, which, as we know, there will be another one. They said it will be. And they want to make sure that when the next one happens, that this law is passed and they have the ability to do these things. Which is why, hey, our faith is going to have to be at a all-time level, man. And we're going to have to resist at all, we're going to have to resist all of this shit, man. Because we know ultimately that it's the plan and the plan of the devil and what he's ultimately trying to do. It says they get to decide what is a health emergency, and they are putting in place a surveillance mechanism that will ensure that that there are potential emergencies to declare. Yeah, because they're going to create the emergencies, man. It says the WHO Pandemic Treaty is part of a two-track effort coinciding with an initiative by the World Health Assembly to create new global pandemic regulations that will also supersede the laws of member states, you see? So you're not going to have, like I said, your mayors and your governors and your city councils are not going to be able to dictate how this so-called pandemic should be treated. Even the president of the United States himself will have to bow down and do whatever the WHO tells them to do as far as what should be done and how it should be done. It says the WHA is a rule-making body of the WHO comprised of representatives from the member states, all lackeys and all cronies of the New World Order, man. It says both initiatives are fatally dangerous, Francis Boyle, professor of international law at Illinois University, told the Epoch Times. Either one or both would set up a worldwide medical police state under the control of the WHO, and in particular WHO Director General Tedros. So either way you slice it, they're going to have the last to say so. It says if either one or both of these goes through, Tedros or his successor will be able to issue orders that will go all the way down to the pipe to your primary care physicians. Physician Merrill Nass told the Epoch Times, if these rules go through as currently drafted, I as a doctor will be told what I am allowed to give a patient and what I am prohibited from giving a patient whenever the WHO declares a public health emergency, you see? So it's just a total control, man, a dictatorship. All right. And you're not going to have any say so. You're not going to have any opinion. They don't give a damn. All right. Either you're going to do it or else, or you're going to have to face the consequences, face the penalty. You see what they did in Australia during the whole pandemic. They was locking people, locking people in those little concentration camp cities. They locked everything down and the citizens didn't have any say so because their prime minister or whatever the hell she was totally on board with, the agenda, and she issued it as such. It says, so they can tell you you're getting remdesivir, but you can't have hydrochloroquine or ivermectin. What they're also saying is they believe in equity, which means everybody in the world gets vaccinated, whether or not you need it, whether or not you're already immune. You see, it's a total control system that they're putting into place. Medical tyranny, man. And this is what Sleepy Joe creepy ass is doing behind closed doors, man. You see? And this is why, we need Yahweh Shai to come back and to deliver us from this damn devil. But in the meantime, hey, we're going to have to be faithful even unto death, man. Because if this shit gets drafted, man, you're not going to have a choice. You're not going to have the freedom to say, well, I don't want this and I don't think that I need it. They're going to make it to where you're not going to have a choice. And like I said, there'll be particular consequences and things of that nature. But hey, we're going to, as men of the Lord, we're going to have to resist this at all costs, man. Even if it costs us getting locked up or thrown in a concentration camp or even getting our head put in the guillotine, man. And you better believe, it's going to be the same way when they issue that charagma. They're going to put particular laws in place to where when it's time for them to issue it, you're not going to have a choice. Either you're going to take it or face death. It says, regarding medical treatments, the accord would require member nations to monitor and regulate against substandard and falsified pandemic-related products. Based on previous WHO and Biden administrative policy, this will likely include forcing populations to take newly developed vaccines while preventing doctors from prescribing non-vaccine treatments or medicines, you see? So it's not going to be no alternative. You're not going to say, well, I'm going to heal myself naturally. I'm not going to take your fucking, your snake juice or your Capri Sun. You're not gonna have any option. You're gonna take what they're gonna give you, or nothing else, man. All right, like I told you, this man is the absolute damn devil, man. And everything that he's doing is to further enslave humanity. This is 2 Thessalonians 2:7. It says, "For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way." You see, and who's the mystery of iniquity is Esau, Edom, the who, the Biden administration, the World Economic Forum, the international bankers. All right, all of these different tech companies that are all involved in this a new world order bullshit, man. All being ran under the vibration of the so-called white man, who was biblically Esau, Edom, the wicked. It says, "And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming," which you happen now. And this wicked is being revealed by the mouth of the prophets, by us doing videos like this, from the internet, exposing the plans and the agenda of the new world order, man. All of these so-called whistleblowers coming out with information that we're filtering through the Holy Scriptures to pinpoint exactly who the wicked and the devil that the Bible speaks of truly is, man, and how he's operating and how he's using these different organizations to establish, Satan's kingdom here on the earth, man. And he's going to be destroyed when Yahweh Shai returns, man. Like all of these plans, this new world order, all of this shit is eventually going to go up in smokes and be judged and brought down by Yahweh Shai when he returns. But in the meantime, there's a certain amount of prophecy that has to be fulfilled. The Lord's going to allow him to go along with this shit to a certain extent. He's going to actually, get laws like this passed. He's going to actually set up his new world order to a certain extent. He's going to actually give people the MOTB, the mark of the what. He's going to collapse this economy. He's going to have a technocracy somewhat in the makings happen. But eventually it's all going to be met with judgment and destruction by Yahweh Shai. It says, even him. Let me check this. See, it's still recording. Okay. It says, even him, see, whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Salakia. Salakia, all right. It says, with all power and signs and lying wonders, man. And that's everything that he's doing. How he's able to get all these different legislations passed, his technology, these are all part of his signs and lying wonders, man. Let's get this word for signs. It says, of miracles and wonders. Shalakia. It says the word is Samayawan. It says of miracles and wonders by which God authenticates the men sent by him, or by which men prove the. Oh no, not that one. It says of signs portending remarkable events soon to happen. You see, and this whole part of that the signs and part of his signs is that that draft that he's drafting up, man, and how he's getting these Biden and his administration to sign off on it, knowing good and goddamn well it's a wicked and evil thing to do, that is totally violating the Constitution that Biden swore in to protect, man. You see, these people are ultimately a bunch of damn demons and Satanists and liars, man. And it says in lying, the word is pseudos. It says conscious and intentional falsehood. See, in a broad sense, whatever is not what it seems to be. And that's exactly what this whole draft that they're drawing up is, man. It's something that it doesn't seem to be. Now they're presenting it as, oh, this is going to be the best thing to happen next time we have a pandemic. We're more prepared this time. We're going to be able to do this, and we're going to let who be in charge, and they're going to take care of it, and they're going to save lives, and it's going to be perfect. But no, in all reality, it's just more control for these elites. It's like I said, it's a medical tyranny to where the people won't have any option or any opinion outside of it. You will be forced to do it. It says circumventing America's Constitution. And that's exactly what this law is doing. And who was doing it? The Biden administration, man. Like I said, he's literally violating the Constitution that he swore in on the Bible to protect, man. Which shows you that these people are Satan and they're the devil. And that they don't believe in the God of the Bible, man. Them swearing in on the Bible was all smoke and mirrors, man. All right. These people are, like I said, coming in the working of Satan, man, with all lying wonders and signs. It says a key question surrounding the accord is whether the Biden administration can bind America to treaties and agreements without the consent of the U.S. Senate, which is required under the Constitution. You see, but they're about to Eurostep and sidestep the Constitution to get this thing signed, man. It says the zero draft concedes that, per an international law, treaties between countries must be ratified by national legislators, thus respecting the right of their citizens to consent. However, the draft also includes a clause that the accord will go into effect on a provisional basis as soon as it is signed by delegates at the WHO, and therefore it will be legally binding on members without being ratified by legislators. You see? All these unrighteous decrees, man, all of these lying wonders and signs, and they write these laws so that it could, go around the Constitution and, and get passed. It says, whoever drafted this clause knew as much about the U.S. constitutional law and international law as I did, and deliberately drafted it to circumvent the power of Senate to give its advice and consent to treaties to provisionally bring into force immediately upon signature, Boyle said. You see? So these people, man, they accomplished a diligent search, man, to show you that Esau, Edom is a goddamn devil and that he don't even follow his own laws or his own constitution, man. They'll find ways to go around it, which is wickedness, man. You see? It says, in addition, the Biden administration will take the position that it is an international executive agreement that the president can conclude of his own accord without approval by Congress, you see? And that's how they get it. And this is how you know that Biden is brought and paid for and that he's a pawn of the goddamn New World Order, man. That he will even go this far to step around his duty as the American president to protect the American citizens, that he'll, that if he, they'll make it to where he has the ability to sign this without the approval of Congress because they know that Congress would disapprove. So they have things written in there to where he can do it without the approval of Congress, man, and sidestep them and do the bidding of his overlords. It says, and is binding on the United States of America, including all states and local democratically elected officials, governors, attorney generals, and health officials. You see? So they know exactly what they're doing, man. Making unrighteous decrees where, they can sidestep your mayors, your governors, and your elected officials who may not like how the WHO is going to take care of it. But if it's passed, what they have to say won't matter. They'll be legally, illegitimate, I guess. It says there are several U.S. Supreme Court decisions that may support the Biden administration in this, blah, 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 blah. Well, you pretty much see what they're doing, man. I'm not going to read anymore. I got a couple more precepts to make sure this is still recording. All right. And I'm going to get out of here, man. Hey, but you can see, hey, Satan is working, man. This thing, these devils are not playing around. They're coming in quick with this thing. And if you ain't mentally and spiritually prepared, you're going to be caught off guard by this shit, man. But we all know eventually this devil is going to be destroyed. But before that, there is going to be a great testing. There is going to be a trial and a testing of our faith. Whether you're going to, if this shit passes law and they're bringing the next so-called Marburg pandemic and this shit comes to pass, and who is in control, and they tell you that you have to take this new snake juice, snake bite, whatever term we might call it when it happens, whether you're going to take it or not, whether you're going to trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, have faith in him and his power and his might, or you're going to bow down to Satan, man. All right, for a little bit of comfort and, fear of losing your job or being thrown in jail or whatever the consequences might be. All right, this is Job 20:5. It says, and knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reacheth unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. You see? So the triumphing of the wicked is short, man, and he's in position to where a lot of these things are going to happen, and he's going to get them to pass. So he's going to feel like he has the upper hand, that he's going to have the advantage, man. But like I said, it's all according to prophecy. The Lord's going to allow this devil to only get so far. Remember, the Lord has appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. But some of these things he is going to be able to get off the ground some of these things he is going to have the power to do. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's going to be for a trial and a testing of our faith to see if we truly believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But we know that ultimately, if we be faithful unto the Lord, we shall receive that crown of life. And ultimately that, hey, this devil, he is going to lose, man. It's written for him to be destroyed, for him to lose, and for him not to win. But like I said, the Lord's going to let him get some of this shit up off the ground and to test, the faith of the elect. But hey, if we're a part of that number, as long as we're, hey, we're going to be more than conquerors through Yahweh Shai at the end of the day, man. It says, he shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. All right. So this devil, man, he's going to be destroyed, man. All right. He's not going to get away with this shit. All right. This is Psalms 37 and 32. It says, the wicked watches the righteous and seeketh to slay him. And that's what that whole giving the authority of the WHO of the medical pandemic in the hands of the WHO is really all about, man. Another way for the wicked to slay the righteous, for him to bring in this depopulation program. Bullshit. It says, Yahweh will not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged. Wait on Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. See? I have seen the wicked in great power and spreading himself like a green bay tree. And that's what you see happening in these last days, how they're gaining control over the medical, over the financial, over the political, and basically over every aspect and every business on this planet Earth is being brought up and consolidated by these international bankers and these elites so that they can bring in this digital beast system. You see, so that they can enslave humanity through this technology, man. You see, and he's gaining more and more power each and every day. But eventually, he's going to be taken out of the way, man. It says, yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yea, I sought him, but he could not be found, you see. And that's what's going to happen to this damn devil, man. It says, mark the perfect man and behold the upright, for the end of that man is peace, you see. So as long as we remain faithful even unto death and deny, don't let this devil, defile us with any of his charagmas or his spider venoms or his philosophies and bullshit. We're going to be at peace, man. Even if we have to go out as martyrs, even if we're going to have to get our head in the guillotine and die for the testimony of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, hey, our end is going to be peace. Our works are going to follow us and we'll be raised up first. It says, but the transgressors shall be destroyed together. The end of the wicked shall be cut off. But the salvation of the righteous is of Yahweh. You see, our salvation is in the hands of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, not Esau, man. So that's why, because Esau, when he brings his new world order in that charagma, that's going to be him trying to offer you a form of salvation, which is really death and destruction and judgment in the presence of Yahweh Shai and the holy angels. But if we wait upon the Lord and we be faithful unto him, that's our salvation. You see? It says, he is their strength in the time of trouble, and Yahweh shall help them and deliver them. He shall deliver them from the wicked and save them because they trust in him. You see? So at the end of the day, man, hey, don't trust in any of this shit that Esau is over here selling and trying to present unto you, because it's not salvation. It's only death and judgment, man, and enslavement. But waiting upon Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, that's our strength, that's our salvation, and that's our life and our way out of this last captivity under the heathen and immortal glory, man. So with that, Lord willing, you were edified. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. Lord willing, you were edified. To the next one, shalom.